Good morning again, and welcome to St Peter's Church, or rather should I say my study. As you can see, I'm not in church. Due to the new restrictions, all churches are closed, but I am seeking clarity on that, whether, because I live right next door, whether I'll be able to just pop over as part of my once a day exercise and just pop in church, but we'll see. As usual, this morning I said morning prayer. And it struck me that when we say prayers or read from the Bible day in, day out, on Sundays and such like, that things can become quite sanitised and lose their sort of impact on us. And one of the pieces of advice I was given when I was ordained as a curate was my vicar said to me, when you read the Eucharistic prayer, don't just read it. Say it as though it's the first time you've ever said it. And that's a piece of advice I took to heart, and I say every time I do the Eucharist, I say that prayer as though it's the first time, and it gives it that freshness, and it becomes to me a living prayer every Sunday. And I mentioned all that because morning prayer today, which I've done of course, there's a short prayer at the end of the second psalm, which was Psalm 79, and I just want to read it to you, so excuse me a second. When faith is scorned and love grows cold, then God of hosts rebuild your church on lives of thankfulness and patient prayer through Jesus Christ, your eternal Son. Amen. That prayer tells us we have to trust God to help us in all this. We have to be having patient prayer. And I truly believe that this crisis will not break the church, but it will make the church. Even if perhaps the buildings may look different in the future, I don't know. Many people, I'm sure, will say that the church is not essential at present. For some, it's never been essential. But for you out there and all Christians, I hope it's more essential now than ever. Because we look around at how society is withdrawing into itself, when people are fearful about what to do next or how they will survive. When we ask ourselves, what can I do if I'm old, or if I'm ill, or not a key worker, or have no means to help my neighbour, what do I do? As an individual? We can all pray. Every single one of us, we can all pray. You might think, well, come on, what good will that do? Well, when I was growing up, I heard about the work of monasteries and the monks who would isolate themselves from the world, live very simply, spend all their time praying. And I thought to myself, what good is that? But now that we're all being forced into isolation, the phone calls, the email messages, Facebook messages of prayer and support I've received, and the thanks for what I do, which is very little, convinces me that what I do and what you do through prayer does work. Because for one, it keeps us all socially connected, and secondly, it gives us hope, surely. So what I want you to do is, yes, pray of course, use the Church of England Common Prayer app, which is mentioned in an earlier post, and why not share on this Facebook page a short prayer of your own for others to see. Just a few lines, or even maybe some words of inspiration to everyone else who is out there now. It needn't be overly religious, because remember that humour can be a great medicine as well. Just a few words that will inspire the rest of us to keep going, to be patient, and to keep one another's welfare in our hearts and in our minds. So here's a little starter. Let's pray. Dear Lord, please make me the kind of person that my dog thinks I am. Be safe. Catch you tomorrow.